That's me about to play my first show with this brand new wireless system. I'm always nervous about signal dropouts. I've heard these more affordable systems can cut out in these higher interference zones, and we are in the heart of Hollywood, over 100 people in the audience with their phones. There's another show happening next door, so I'd put this event in that category. Now, I was nervous because, like you, when I'm looking for product, I try and find anything that I can on the internet, any videos that I can see of somebody using it in the way that I did, and I saw nobody using this for a real live show. It was all people like seeing how far they could walk away from the receiver and still get a clean signal, which to me doesn't make sense because that's like, if you're buying these, you're not on a 100-foot stage where you need to be 100 feet away. You just need good, clean, reliable wireless. So I was nervous if these guys would perform. And spoiler alert, they did awesome. I had no dropouts the entire show. If you're interested in more about these, I'm gonna be talking about the battery life, some of the things that I dislike about it, and just some general questions I think you guys are gonna have, at least that I had before I picked them up. And so I was nervous that these work because these are really affordable for, up next to the competition. I asked my friend who plays in shows regularly of like 600 to 1,000 people what he uses. He said the 2.4 version of these that he used to use, the signal would start to cut out and get lost on the bigger shows. So he upgraded to this Shure system that's like $600 or something. It's way too much money for like me, a hobbyist. By the way, this rock show is a birthday party for our friend Dakota. He rents out a music venue every year and invites his musical friends to put together a set list, and I'll get up on stage and perform for the rest of his other friends. We all invite people, and so it's crazy to be able to get up and play in front of, like 100 plus people as non-professional musicians. It is like the coolest birthday party I could imagine. The hotel cafe is in the heart of Hollywood, so tons of Wi-Fi signals, tons of buildings, tons of people. There's a show next door. We were on the main stage. Then there's a smaller stage next door that also had performers going. So there were more signals bouncing around there. I never got more than 10 or 15 feet away from the receiver, but I think that's what most people are going to be using it for. I just don't want to worry about tripping over something, another person in the band kicking it, stepping on it, it getting wrapped around a guitar stand, any of that stuff. I just want to pick it up, walk around, not have to worry about it. So that's why I got these. So the first thing is battery life. It says that they go for 4 to 5 hours. So I wanted to check that. I plugged them in here at home. I turned them both on. I set a timer on my watch to check them every hour. I played a little bit in between just to see and make sure that, I don't know, maybe the signal going through the system causes it to drain more battery than if they're just on. But it did end up being between that 4 and 5 hour mark that it started to drain in battery. And the power button will go from green to yellow, and that's how you know that it's in its lower battery percentage. So that turned out to be great. We did 2 45-minute sets, but the great news is that they connect and start playing very, very, very quickly. So it's not like you turn it on, it's like 30 seconds or a minute before they're good to go. Actually, let's test that real quick. So we're gonna throw the receiver in here, transmitter. All right. No sound, on. Like literally immediately after I turn it on. So let's turn it off. Okay, nothing. I'm just gonna give a strum and then we'll turn it on. Maybe 1.5 seconds. That's honestly kind of insane. If you were nervous about the battery and like leaving it running, you can turn these off and on like immediately and know that they're gonna connect and they'll be good to go without like any startup time, which is pretty sick. As far as the design of these, I don't really love that they sort of like don't have a protected sort of system on it. On the Strat, actually, so on the Strat, I think it's nice. You can either do it this way, and then it's like protected. Nothing's gonna kind of like hit around here, you know, maybe a little bit with your hand, I suppose. Or you could switch it around this way. Actually, they advertise it being able to do this way, but you can't actually push it in this way. So that's good to know. But this way works really well, and it just seems like a little bit more protected. I actually much prefer that. But yeah, on this thing, I was a little bit more nervous because it just like seems way more vulnerable. And it like right there, standing up during the show, it ended up not being a really big deal. But I do see why people do like the cable jack that goes to the guitar strap, because I think that it protects it a little bit better. You can also get an extension. You can get like a male to female cable on this, and then you can get like a little pouch that can go on your guitar strap and put this in there. That might be the way to go if you want to get a little bit more protected. But for me, it ended up not being a huge issue. Yeah, I'm still nervous about it just sitting here in this chair and having it bump up against the side of the chair. As far as latency goes, I could detect 0 latency. I've been playing guitar for like 20 years. I was like a drummer in a band. I think I've got a pretty good ear for timing and hearing details and things, and I could not hear any latency in it. When I was up there playing, I felt like the response was pretty good. So I honestly kind of forgot that it was something different than I normally do. I didn't have any moment during the show where I was like, oh no, I hope that this sounds like the latency is good enough. When I'm hitting the notes, it feels like I'm the one playing the guitar. So that wasn't an issue at all for me. And then for the show, I was the only one using one of these. So I have heard that if you use a bunch of these less expensive ones all close together, that you can get some interference and they won't work as well. This one has 6 channels. But we didn't test that. It was just me on this wireless system, my friend on his Shure wireless system, and then everybody else was wired in. If you do have any information on that, or you have tried any of that, definitely leave that in the comments so other people can see. And then the quality of the sound, honestly, I can't hear a difference. I mean, we could probably like A/B test the cables, but I think it sounds, it sounds amazing. And to me, in situations like playing live, even if let's say it's like a 3 to 5% loss in quality, which I don't think it is. But even if it is, to me, it's worth it for the freedom, not worrying about the cables, how much better an experience it is to be able to play without the cables. So that's just me personally. I am so happy I got them. They were pretty affordable, about 25% the cost of a professional system. They worked in, like I said, a venue that's got, we had a sound guy walking around with an iPad changing the audio. We had a bunch of people out with their cell phones. We had another show next door right in the heart of Hollywood. And I would say that's a pretty saturated like network type area that I was really impressed that, after that first song, which I was pretty nervous about, I just completely forgot about it and enjoyed the rest of the show, which was pretty fantastic. So yeah, I can definitely recommend this for shows of at least about that size. I don't know at what point it starts to break down, but I was really happy that I made the purchase. If you're interested, I'll put the links below, but I'd love to know from you guys any other experiences you've had either with this unit or similar ones as far as what works, what doesn't, what's worth it. I think that should pretty much answer all your questions. If you have any more, drop them in the comments and I will see if I have the answers to them, see if I can get that done for you guys.